Have you ever found yourself, like in a fitness rut? You're pushing hard, but it feels like you're just hitting a wall.
Or maybe performance feels totally unpredictable. Some days you're amazing, others not so much.
Exactly. What if there was, I don't know, a kind of secret user manual for your body, especially for fitness, that could actually explain all that?
Well, it's not exactly secret, but it is deeply biological. Today we're diving into the world of cycle syncing workouts.
Cycle syncing. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not just some trend. It's really about using your natural menstrual cycle as like the ultimate training periodization tool.
Okay.
Structuring your training to optimize things.
Right. Optimizing performance and recovery. That's precisely our goal here. Our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from the sources we looked at
Mm-hmm.
to help you understand how these hormone fluctuations impact, well, everything from power output and coordination to recovery time, even maybe injury risk.
Yeah.
The idea is to show you how to work with your biology, not, fight against it.
And I can tell you just from my own experience, getting this has been, well, honestly transformative.
How so?
So when I was a competitive swimmer back in my 20s, I was training like crazy, 6 days a week. But my performance, so unpredictable.
Right.
Some weeks I'd absolutely crush it, hitting PBs.
Uh-huh.
Other weeks, I felt like I was just dragging myself through workouts that should have felt easy.
And what did coaches say?
Oh, the usual. Train harder, it's all mental, champions show up every day, stuff like that. I honestly started to think maybe I just wasn't cut out for that level because I couldn't keep up that machine-like consistency.
That seemed to come more easily to the guys, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like I was just constantly fighting my own body.
And I have to admit, I used to be one of those people, thinking consistency meant doing the exact same thing, same intensity, day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
I probably even, lectured a few people about mental toughness when they mentioned feeling off. I was Mr. Sports Science, thought I knew it all about training.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
when I started actually seeing the data, training logs side by side with cycle trackers, the patterns were just undeniable. It was a total mind-blown moment for me, especially as a researcher, seeing how the actual scientific literature backed up these really clear fluctuations.
That's the aha moment, isn't it? I remember starting to track my own data really rigorously, alongside my cycle, and seeing those same unmistakable patterns.
And now,
Now, fast forward, after applying this stuff for a couple of years, it's like I finally got the user manual. I PR'd my deadlift last month at 32, a weight I couldn't touch in my 20s when I was supposedly training harder.
wow.
The difference is I'm training smarter and injuries. Basically zero. Since I started listening to my body's rhythms instead of forcing it, everything just flows better.
Okay, let's really unpack this then. How can understanding your body's natural rhythms, your cycle, truly revolutionize your fitness journey?
Let's start with the science bit, because it's actually pretty fascinating. Your menstrual cycle isn't just like one long phase. It's typically broken down into 4 distinct phases.
4 phases.
Yeah, each lasting roughly a week, give or take. And they're driven by some pretty significant hormone shifts. Day 1 of your period is cycle day 1.
Okay, so walk us through those phases. What's happening with the hormones, and what does that generally mean for how we might feel or perform?
Right. So first up is the menstrual phase, roughly days 1 to 7. This is when both estrogen and progesterone are at their lowest point.
Lowest point. Okay.
And the key thing here is that low hormones aren't just an absence. They create this unique biological window. This low hormone state, kind of free from the hormonal noise of other phases, seems to allow for clearer physiological signals. Some research suggests it can even enhance focus and strength potential, surprisingly.
Interesting. So maybe not a time to just write off.
Not necessarily, especially once any initial cramping subsides. It can be a powerful time for certain intense efforts if you feel up to it.
Okay, what's next?
Next is the follicular phase. This actually overlaps with menstruation and runs generally from, say, days 1 to 13. During this phase, estrogen starts its gradual climb.
Okay, estrogen rising.
Yeah, and that usually leads to increasing energy levels, maybe a better mood. You might find yourself feeling more motivated, wanting to try new things. Coordination often improves, too.
Oh, coordination too. I hadn't heard that specifically.
Yeah, some studies show improved reaction time and even potentially lower injury risk during this phase because of that rising estrogen.
Okay, so after follicular, where energy's building,
Right.
what's the next big shift?
That brings us to ovulation, which hits around day 14 typically. This is peak estrogen time.
Ah, the peak.
Exactly. And for many women, this feels like a peak power phase. Strength, coordination, confidence, everything just feels, dialed up. Studies often show this is when women hit their best performances in strength and power activities.
Like a natural pre-workout built in.
Kind of, yeah, like a natural surge. Then
Ah.
finally, we move into the luteal phase. This is approximately days 15 to 28. And this is when progesterone takes over. It becomes the dominant hormone. Estrogen drops, then has a smaller rise, but progesterone is key here.
And what does progesterone dominance usually mean?
Well, it often means energy levels tend to decline somewhat. You might retain more water, feel a bit more sluggish, and honestly, some days you might just feel like staying in bed.
Right.
But the crucial insight from all the research is that these aren't just random feelings. They're predictable hormonal patterns we can actually anticipate and plan around.
That science breakdown makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Okay, but for everyone listening, the big question is probably, how do we actually use this information? What's the practical translation into, like, a weekly workout plan?
Okay, let's break it down practically. For the menstrual phase, days 1 to 7-ish, this
Yep.
is your listen to your body time.
Right.
First few days, if you've got cramps, fatigue, focus on gentle movement. Think restorative yoga, light walking, maybe some foam rolling. Just be kind to yourself.
But you said earlier it could also be a power phase.
Yeah, interestingly, by maybe days 4 to 7, as those initial symptoms ease up, many women feel surprisingly good. Remember the low estrogen and progesterone? Less water retention, less inflammation, maybe. So if you're feeling it, it can actually be a great time to test your strength or try a challenging workout.
Okay, listen to your body, but don't automatically assume it's a complete write-off after day 3 or 4.
Exactly. Then moving into the follicular phase, say days 8 to 13, estrogen is rising, so energy and motivation are usually building. This is your build phase.
Build phase, like building fitness.
Yeah, focus on learning new skills, maybe trying different workout styles, gradually increasing intensity. Your coordination's better, remember, so it's perfect for technical lifts or complex movements you've been wanting to try.
Like that crow pose you mentioned nailing.
Yeah, exactly like that. It just clicked during my follicular phase 1 month after struggling for ages.
Okay, and then comes that peak power phase you talked about, the go time.
Days 12, 16, roughly ovulation week. My calendar literally used to say ovulation peak power. Peak estrogen often means peak strength, confidence, maybe even better pain tolerance. This is when you go for those personal records. Try the hardest classes. Push your limits.
So schedule the really tough stuff here. Heavy lifts, intense, HIIT.
Absolutely. Your body can often handle more, and mentally, you might feel more fearless too.
Okay, makes sense. Then the last phase.
Then comes the luteal phase, days 17 to 28 or so. This used to be my, why do I feel so drained phase.
Right, because progesterone's up.
Yeah, rising progesterone often brings lower energy, maybe some mood swings, increased appetite. I used to just fight it and inevitably burn out every single month.
So what do you do now?
Now I work with it. Early luteal, say days 17-21, I can often still handle moderate intensity, but I focus more on steady state cardio, strength maintenance, rather than pushing for big gains.
Okay, maintaining.
Then late luteal, maybe days 22-28 leading up to your period, that's all about nurturing movement for me. Long walks, gentle yoga, stretching, maybe some really light weights if I feel like it. It's strategic recovery.
Like how elite athletes periodize their training overall.
Exactly. It's not giving up or being lazy. It's being smart. You're preparing for the next cycle.
You know, I have to jump in here with my own learning curve, because I think maybe a lot of partners or trainers or even female athletes themselves might relate to my initial skepticism. I genuinely didn't get that energy levels could swing so dramatically for physiological reasons. I was totally raised on that no pain, no gain idea.
Yeah, it's ingrained.
And, male hormone fluctuations are pretty minor compared to what women experience monthly. It honestly took seeing the data to convince me.
A lot of data. And maybe a little bit of patient explaining from your friend.
Guilty. But yeah, I decided to track my own energy and performance for 3 months while she tracked hers. My graph, a slightly wavy line. Hers, a roller coaster.
I bet.
Once I saw it visually like that, I couldn't unsee it. So I dove into the literature, and study after study showed these hormone fluctuations affect, well, everything. How muscles build and repair, that's muscle protein synthesis.
Yeah.
How your body uses fuel substrate utilization. How it regulates temperature thermoregulation. Even injury risk items. The data was just overwhelming.
It really is.
One of the things that really struck me was this idea about core body temperature during the luteal phase. You mentioned progesterone. Can you explain how that makes intense cardio or like hot yoga physiologically harder then? That really shifted things for me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. During the luteal phase, progesterone actually nudges your core body temperature up by about half a degree Celsius, maybe a bit more.
Doesn't sound like much, but
Right, but it means your body has to work harder just to cool itself down during exercise. Your baseline is higher. So if you're trying to smash a high-intensity interval session or you're in a hot yoga class during that phase, your body's already dealing with a bit more heat stress just to start with.
and so it's not just feeling less motivated, it's actually physically harder to regulate temperature.
Exactly. It's pure biology. And knowing that is so empowering, isn't it? It helps you understand why you might feel that way instead of just blaming yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Because it works. I've seen firsthand how my friend, since we started planning around her cycle, she's gotten stronger, she stays more consistent overall, and honestly, she seems to enjoy training more.
Exactly. It takes the fight out of it.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Some people hear cycle syncing and think, oh, that's just an excuse to be lazy or inconsistent.
Oh, that frustrates me so much because it's the complete opposite. It's strategic periodization. It's using biological markers to inform your training.
Right.
I'm not skipping workouts randomly because I don't feel like it. I'm planning lighter weeks or days when my body physiologically needs more recovery and planning to push harder when it's primed for intensity. That's not lazy, it's smart. And the research actually points towards it improving long-term performance outcomes.
And what about the idea that this only works if you have a perfect 28-day cycle?
Another misconception. My cycle varies, 26 to 30 days sometimes. It still works beautifully. You track your patterns. The exact length isn't the main point. It's the hormonal sequence and how you experience it.
Okay, good point. What about people on hormonal birth control? Does any of this apply?
That's a really important question. Most hormonal contraceptives work by suppressing those natural hormone fluctuations. So traditional cycle syncing based on those natural peaks and troughs might not apply in the same way.
So no benefit then?
No, I wouldn't say that. You can still absolutely benefit from listening to your body, tracking how you feel, day-to-day energy, mood, etc., and adjusting your intensity based on that feedback. It's still valuable self-awareness.
Right.
And for everyone, birth control or not, it's crucial to remember not everyone who menstruates experiences these patterns identically. Some feel amazing during their period, others feel strongest during ovulation, some feel the luteal dip more than others. The absolute key is tracking your own unique patterns, not just following some generic template you read online.
Okay, so tracking is paramount. For someone listening now, feeling inspired, maybe a little overwhelmed, where do they actually start? What's the first tactical step?
Just start tracking. Seriously, that's step one. You need data. Aim for at least 2-3 cycles worth to really start seeing your personal patterns emerge clearly.
How? An app? A notebook?
Either works. Use a period tracking app. There are tons. Or just grab a notebook, track your cycle day. Day 1 equals first day of period. Track your energy level, maybe on a simple 1 to 10 scale. Note down your workout, what you did, how it felt. Maybe add sleep quality, mood, whatever feels relevant to you.
Okay, track for a couple of months. Then what, once you have that data?
Then start small with adjustments. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Maybe just focus on matching your workout intensity to your daily energy score.
So if you rate your energy a 4 out of 10...
Do a 4 out of 10 workout. Don't try to force a 9 out of 10 session just because your plan says so. Listen to the data you've collected about yourself.
Can you give us a snapshot of what your typical monthly plan looks like now, based on this?
Sure. So week 1, menstrual phase. Days 1 to 3 are usually gentle yoga, walks. Days 4-7, I see how I feel, often ramp back up to moderate intensity if energy's good. Week 2, follicular phase. That's my skill building week. Trying new classes, working on technique, gradually adding weight, learning and building.
Okay.
Week 3, ovulatory phase. Peak power activated. That's PR week for me. Heaviest lifts, hardest classes, pushing my limits. Week 4, luteal phase. Focus shifts to maintenance and recovery. Steady cardio, familiar strength workouts, lots of stretching, mobility. I'm prepping my body for the next cycle.
See, it's still progressive overload, but it's timed strategically around your biology.
Exactly.
And we've heard some pretty cool success stories from people applying this, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. We had Emma, a busy mom, who always struggled with consistency. The pattern: start strong, burn out, feel guilty, quit.
Yeah, very common.
Once she started tracking and adjusting, she stopped fighting those low-energy weeks. She used them for gentle movement, guilt-free. 6 months later, strong as she's been since having kids, and she told us she hadn't missed a planned workout adjusted as needed in 3 months.
Wow, the consistency came from honoring the fluctuations.
Precisely. Another client, Sarah, realized she'd been hammering herself during her luteal phase for years, thinking she was losing fitness when she felt sluggish. She was just overtraining during a natural recovery phase. Once she adjusted, dialing back then, her overall performance actually improved. It's so empowering to realize your body has these rhythms that deserve respect.
And, for any guys listening, learning about this has genuinely made me a better partner and just a more understanding person generally.
Oh, so.
If my partner says she's really not feeling up for that intense hike we planned for Saturday, I believe her now. I get it's not about motivation or toughness. Her body might literally be working harder just to maintain normal function that day.
Absolutely, and it goes both ways, right? He now knows when I'm likely in my ovulation phase and might suggest, hey, want to try that challenging trail this weekend? Or how about that new climbing route? He's learned to read my cycle almost as well as I do, and honestly, it's brought us closer.
That's great. And for trainers, coaches, this is huge.
It could revolutionize how they work with female clients. Imagine asking about their cycle as standard practice, validating their experiences, adjusting programming thoughtfully. It's personalized training on another level.
Okay, let's tackle a few other common concerns. What about people training for a specific event, like a race or competition? Can they still use this?
Oh, absolutely. You're just being even more strategic about timing your peak training phases. If you have a race coming up, you plan your hardest, most specific training blocks to coincide with your predicted follicular and ovulatory phases when you adapt best.
So you use your strongest phases for the hardest work leading up to the event.
Exactly. Elite athletes already use periodization.
Sure.
This just adds another layer of precise biological markers to fine-tune it.
What if your cycle is irregular? Does that just throw the whole thing out?
Not at all. You can still track your patterns and energy levels daily. You might not be able to predict the phases as accurately weeks in advance, but you can still respond to how you feel day by day or week by week. The core principle of listening to your body and adjusting intensity still holds immense value.
And is it less intense overall? Does training this way mean you just don't push as hard?
Definitely not. I actually train harder during my peak phases now than I ever did before because I know I have the capacity, and crucially, I know I have recovery built in later. I'm just not burning myself out by pushing hard all the time, especially during natural recovery periods.
Makes sense. Okay, so for practical tips, hacks, beyond just tracking, what else can people implement pretty much immediately?
Okay, first, adjust intensity, not necessarily frequency. You don't have to skip workouts entirely on low energy days unless you really feel you need to. Just modify.
Swap a spin class for a walk.
Exactly. Or do gentle yoga instead of heavy lifting. Movement is almost always beneficial. Just match it to your capacity. Second, really try to embrace the recovery phases. Stop seeing your luteal phase as losing progress. It's essential recovery. Your body is working hard preparing for the next cycle.
Reframe it.
Totally. Third, plan your challenges strategically. Want to try a tough new fitness class or go for a PR attempt? Look at your tracker and aim for your follicular or ovulatory phase. Set yourself up for success.
And finally,
Communicate. Talk to your workout buddies, your partner, your trainer if you have one. Share this information. It helps them understand and support you better.
it really feels like it's all connected, doesn't it? Like nutrition and recovery must integrate with the cycle too. How do we approach those elements?
Oh, you're spot on. It's a whole ecosystem. During the menstrual phase, your body often needs more iron, maybe magnesium due to blood loss. Instead of fighting cravings for comfort food, maybe honor them with nutritious versions. Think dark chocolate for magnesium, leafy greens for iron. In the follicular phase, with rising energy, you might naturally crave fresh, lighter foods, fruits, veggies, lean proteins. Digestion is often quite efficient then.
And ovulation, that peak time.
Yeah, ovulation is often a peak metabolism time too. You can usually handle and probably need more fuel for those intense workouts. Don't be afraid to eat more here. Your body is likely burning through it efficiently.
Good to know. And luteal, when energy dips.
In the luteal phase, your metabolism actually stays slightly elevated, so calorie needs are higher, especially for complex carbs and healthy fats. Those PMS cravings, they aren't just in your head. Your body literally needs a bit more fuel. Honoring that with nutrient-dense choices can make a huge difference.
And sleep, does that change too?
It often does. Progesterone, dominant in the luteal phase, is naturally slightly sedating, so you might sleep deeper then, but you might also find you need more sleep. Don't fight the urge for extra rest if you feel it.
How does this apply across different fitness goals? Like, say, weight loss versus strength building versus endurance. Are there different ways to tailor it?
Yeah. Definitely. For weight loss, cycle syncing can be amazing. Instead of white-knuckling through cravings and low energy in your luteal phase, you work with them. Remember, your metabolism is slightly higher than anyway, so you can eat a little more nutrient-dense food while focusing on gentle, fat-burning activities like walking or LISS cardio. It avoids that deprivation binge cycle.
Okay, interesting. Strength building.
For strength building, you time your progressive overload strategically. Push the heavy weights and aim for PBs during your follicular and ovulatory phases when your body's primed to adapt and recover. Use the menstrual and luteal phases for recovery, technique work, and maintaining strength.
And endurance athletes.
Endurance folks can build their aerobic base and maybe do longer, steady efforts during the follicular phase. Hit their hardest intervals or tempo runs around ovulation. Maintain fitness with maybe slightly less intensity during early luteal, and then really prioritize active recovery and lighter sessions during late luteal and menstruation. The key is no phase is wasted. Each serves a specific purpose in the overall plan.
What about the mental side? The mindset shifts that come with this approach. I can imagine it's pretty empowering.
Oh, it's been absolutely life-changing for me and for so many clients. For years, I felt this constant guilt. Every time I didn't feel like working out or couldn't hit my usual numbers, I felt like a failure.
That guilt performance cycle.
Exactly. It's so destructive. Now, when I'm in my luteal phase and I choose gentle yoga instead of a hard run, I don't feel guilty at all. I feel proud for listening to what my body actually needs. It completely shifts your relationship with fitness from feeling like you have to punish or control your body to partnering with it.
That's a powerful reframe. Your body isn't the enemy. It's giving you valuable information.
Precisely. And clients have said it helps massively with body image issues too. When you understand that slight weight fluctuations, energy shifts, performance variations, they're normal cyclical parts of your biology, you stop taking them so personally.
That scale going up a bit during your luteal phase isn't necessarily fat gain.
Right. It's often just water retention due to hormones. Knowing that diffuses so much anxiety. Honestly, I wish every single teenage girl could learn this stuff early on. Imagine growing up understanding your body's rhythms instead of fighting them, feeling confused or inadequate for decades.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so for someone who's ready, like right now, who want to jump in, what's a concrete, say, 30-day action plan first month?
Okay, doable. Week 1, just track. Seriously, that's it. Download an app or use a notebook. Rate your energy daily, 1-10, note your workouts, how they felt. Don't change a thing yet. Just gather your baseline data.
Okay, data collection first.
Week 2. Start noticing patterns. As you continue tracking, look back at week 1. Are there days when workouts consistently felt effortless? Days you were dragging? Just observe.
Becoming aware of your own trends.
Week 3. Make 1 or 2 small adjustments based on those patterns. If you notice you always feel tired on, say, cycle day 24, plan a gentler activity or rest day for day 24 going forward. Start aligning slightly.
Gentle adjustments.
Week 4. Try planning ahead a little. Look at your tracker, estimate when your next high-energy phase, follicular or ovulatory, might be, and maybe schedule one challenging workout you're excited about during that time. The absolute key here is patience. It takes a few cycles to really get a feel for your unique patterns, and that's totally okay.
And even with irregular cycles.
Even with irregular cycles, tracking daily energy and adjusting workouts accordingly day by day is still incredibly valuable self-knowledge.
This knowledge really does feel like it has the potential to, I don't know, revolutionize the fitness industry, doesn't it?
I really hope so.
Imagine gyms offering classes tailored to different phases, or personal trainers just routinely, comfortably asking female clients about their menstrual health as part of the intake.
That's the dream, right?
Yeah.
My biggest hope is that young girls grow up understanding their bodies as these powerful cyclical beings, rather than feeling like they need to fit into these often male-designed linear training models. And that period education evolves to include performance optimization and body literacy, not just managing periods as a problem. And crucially, that taking rest when your body clearly needs it is finally seen as a sign of strength and intelligence, not weakness.
So if you take just one thing away from this deep dive today, let it be this. Your menstrual cycle isn't a limitation. It's information. Really valuable information.
Absolutely. Information you can use to train smarter, perform better, recover more effectively, and ultimately feel more connected to your incredible body. It leads me to ask, what if understanding your own unique biological blueprint could unlock a level of performance and well-being you never even thought possible?
That's the potential. So the invitation to you listening is simple. Take that first step today. Start tracking. Track your cycle, track your energy patterns. Even if you don't change anything else right away, just start listening. Trust the patterns you see and connect more deeply with your body.